Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? We Paddy from across the shock, and this is Two for Tuesday. Knife Delight started this off, and I think it's much like Three for Thursday. It's another great way of getting your knives out there, letting people see different knives, the reason you've got them, or whatever. So, I've actually got two new knives, and this is unusual for a Two for Tuesday. These I haven't even done the full reviews on these yet, but I think I just want to explain my reasoning why I got these. And you know, these are this is a very expensive. This one's, middle of the road. But the reasoning for get them was two different reasons. And how much of a gamble it is when you're actually buying stuff that you've never handled. You don't know what it feels like, because people can tell you, no matter how many videos you watch, until you get that knife in your hand, you don't know whether you're going to like it. No matter whether the aesthetics look beautiful, I should say. Once you put it in your hand and once you actually use it, that's when you know whether you like it. So, I mean, in reality, really, us YouTubers, um, we can encourage people to buy things, but we can never second guess what they're going to be like when they get them in hand, because there are, do you know what I mean? There are hands, they can feel completely different to yours. So, and I think that's a wise decision. Always be I like watching the videos just to see aesthetically. I like it. It looks as if it would be okay for my hand, but you just can't guarantee it. And these are two ones that I took a gamble on for different reasons. And I just want to explain to you what it's like when I got them in hand. So we'll start with a little one. This is a friction folder, and it's my first proper fiction. When I say proper fiction folder, I mean I've had Higo Nagami's and I've had the Sword, the New Zealand friction folder. That's the only way I've experienced them. But this, I mean, just look at that profile of that knife. I find that just stunning, because they've captured a large knife that I would enjoy holding in a very small parcel that I can just get three fingers round. Just. But yet it is the most comfortable in hand and easy to use for EDC work. I'm not going to work for 2 hours in a row or even half an hour in a row. This is for cutting tags, opening packages, opening food packages, whatever. That's what I wanted this for. And I wanted it to be something different than what this is. This is the Peanut. There they are side by side. So it's about the same size as a Peanut, roughly. The difference being that the Peanut has two blades and this only has one. There's the blades. You can see the blades. That handle, I can get probably more. Well, I can get just over three fingers on this, but look at the difference in them blades and what them blades can do. This can do much more than this. And look, this is petty. This is, I love the Peanut. I think it's a fantastic fifth pocket. Put in the bottom of your tracksuit bottoms or shorts if you're going anywhere. A super affordable knife, because you can get these from Rough Rider, any other make, and they'll cut every bit as good. But this, it's thin stock, but yet a little bit thicker. I should have show that now while I'm here, because everybody's had a Peanut, so this is why. Look, it is thicker than the Peanut, but at the tip, there's not a huge. There is a bit of difference, but it's not huge. For all the jobs these are going to do, this is good. But this actually does little zip ties. When you're packaging, you get the plastic tags and that. It pops them open beautifully, and I have tried that. It's an N690 steel. This one just happens to be a custom. It cost I traded this was a £70 trade value. And I'm so pleased I done it, because it's given me a new look on friction folders, because the two that I spoke about before, let's be honest, they were all right. The Higo Nakami was very uncomfortable in hand, but I mean, it would work for little small tasks. I'm never going to use it long, so it would work. The Sword was thick and crude looking, as it's supposed to be. I mean, it is a basic working knife. This lifts that working knife into something I just find really attractive. I mean, there's everything goes into this as it does to a large knife. I just find it just thoroughly attractive. This is supposed to be green micarta, but it looks very black on the inside. Even outside, you'd struggle to tell this was green. Not that that matters. It's a linen micarta. It's smooth. But this little divot here for your front finger, it's amazing how locked in that gets you. Because you're putting your hand on, this is all the size the tang is, right? And I thought, oh God, this is going to be, flimsy to use. When you put your thumb there and your finger here and pinch, this doesn't move at all. It just doesn't move. You can cut away a hard cardboard box, not a problem. But it's a beautiful little knife. Was it a gamble? Well, it sort of was, because I'd never gone that expensive for a friction folder. And I'm now looking to buy a full-size friction folder just to see. Now, when I say full-size, I mean with a blade under 3 inches so that I can carry it. And I think that would be lovely. And I'm probably going to go for a black micarta or whatever, the green micarta, and something very similar, but just to have a his and hers knife, because you could hand this to anybody and all you got to do is tell them, put your finger on there and don't move it. And it's not close on you. Really, really safe, surprisingly. To me, it was sort of surprising to me. So this is an absolute gem. Really glad I got it. I'm not going to go into all the details. I'll do that in the review. But it was one that I'm really glad I went for in the end. The second one, the most expensive one, this cost me, and I paid for this one. I bought this brand new from Moonraker over here in the UK. And this is a sort of thing about shopping about. I had first seen it when I typed in, it came up Heine Hanes, and I went and seen Heine Hanes, and they were 236, and on Moonraker this is 199. That's a £37 difference. That is huge to me. That is a lot of money to me to pay extra for something in the same place. I mean, they're maybe only a few 100 miles apart, but so shopping about can really help, even in the UK. Shop amongst places, because £37 to me is a lot of money. So what did I get? I got this again. This is the Higo Nakami sort of a size, but I wanted this as a non-locking replacement for a bug out, because there's the bug out. Most people buy these bug outs now, and then they replace the scales. They do all sorts to them, and most of the time, by the time they get a clip in the scales, I've said this before, most of the time, the price is going to be sort of £200 anyway. This was £200. Now, I know it's cheaper in the States, but it's the equivalent. We're used to spending that much difference on our knives by the time you get customs and all that sort of thing, taxes. So I wanted a really light knife. This weighs the same weight as this. It's just full titanium. It's not skeletonized, full titanium, really sturdy. But look at the difference. You think the bug out's thin. Look how thin that is. And look at the size comparison. This is smaller. But what I also liked on this was the blade shape. This is a great working shape. It's just a drop point. But now, look at the cutting edge of these two. There's next to no difference in the length of the blade, which I didn't really know until I got it in hand. Look at that. There's next to nothing in it. Yes, this one's a bit deeper, but it doesn't need to be, any deeper. This behind the edge here is definitely, I think, maybe even a little bit thinner. There wouldn't be that much in it. But anyhow, it doesn't matter, because they both slice like demons. This is there's nothing wrong with this knife. The only thing I think wrong with this knife is the price. I mean, it's now £150 over here in the UK and about £175, £180 in the States. That's way too much for the materials that's on this knife. And I know they've got a fantastic warranty. I know that. But that's still way too much for a plastic and a cheap plastic handle and a blade steel of S30V. And I know you can get the better blade steels, but you can pay more then. I don't think you're going to beat this for blade steel, because this is MagnaCut. And there's the argument. I'm getting full titanium. I'm getting a MagnaCut blade, which by the time you've footed about with this and got different clips and got, different scales, you're going to be paying £200 or $200, whatever it is in the States, $180. So to get this package that's meant to be like this, It's not something I have to make look like something like this. To get the milling that you get with this company now does the pens as well, tactile turn pens. This is exactly the same milling that's on their pens, which I would love one of their pens. And if anybody in the UK has got one and they want to trade for it, I'll trade you a lovely knife for it. But this is just stunning. I love it. Lovely feeling, lovely circles on that pivot. Everything about this is really simple, and it holds beautifully in the hand. I get a full 4 fingers, and I have a sort of medium large, but more towards a large size hand. And that, look at it's stone washed, or tumbled anyway. Yeah, it's stone washed. It's just a gorgeous blade, and the MagnaCut just made it an absolute no-brainer compared to S30V that you would get on the basic one of these. So it was a gamble because, like I said to you, I didn't like the Higo Nagami in hand, but this knife, honestly, it is so well, and this is not done by accident. This, you can feel nothing that is sharp on this little handle, and it is thin, but when it goes in my hand, honestly, it's full enough that I can get a full grip. Yes, my fingers are touching my palm, but they're just touching my palm, and I have quite long, skinny fingers, so it is so comfortable. How long you could work with it for, I have no idea, but it's the size of knife that I'm not going to work. I could go and shred cardboard boxes with without any fear of getting a hot spot, and that's the joy. There's not a clip on it, so it just goes in a little sheath. I carry it in a little sheath with a pen as well on the side of it. I can't tell you how much I love this knife. It really is just a special knife. And if you can, I know it's expensive. Would I say this is worth you getting it? Absolutely. Now, mine's a little bit off center. It's not touching at all, but it's a little bit off center. I accepted that. I could have sent it back, and I know Moonraker, they're a great company. They'd have sent me another one. I haven't taken it apart yet, and I will, and maybe that'll cure it. I'll maybe take it apart this weekend and see if it cures it, if I can do anything, maybe swapping the washers over. When you get a very thin knife like this that's running on washers, sometimes the fact of taking the washers out and switching them over centers the blade. So I'll not know this weekend, but even so, it's a slip joint. I'm more apt to not be bothered by a knife that's close to the edge. As long as it's not touching, they don't normally move much anyway. And where this is touching, it's the side that you're picking to put your finger into the nail nick here, and you're pulling it away from that side. So it's never going to rub, hopefully. But it's just a little bit off. And look, it's such a thin channel. That little bit doesn't make a whole lot of difference in my head. I'm definitely not that fussy. I love this knife. And even for £200, a little off centering, I'm happy enough. Again, I could have sent it back, but I didn't want to be without it, to be honest with you. I have really taken to this. And I've taken to this one every bit as much, which is surprising me more and more, because I've probably used this more than this during the week or two I've had them in my pockets. Go figure. I never thought I would. But again, it's like this is a fifth pocket. Very simple little knife, reasonably cheap to buy it. There's other companies like Rough Rider, Marbles, all them sort of companies sell them at, really budget prices. This is sort of mid-range price because case are dear. But when you get a good one, and like I keep saying, when you get a good case, there's nothing nicer. Their bone colouring is amazing. And I like their jigging as well. So the simple answer is, does this replace this? And does this replace this? No, is the answer, because this is what I like. What you like, I don't know. Maybe you like this and you think it's a fantastic knife, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with this as a knife. It is absolutely fantastic. It's deep carry. I've never worried about the plastic handles. When I buy something, I really don't want to change handles, because to me that means I've bought the wrong thing. So I decided to go full titanium, as light as the bug out, with a steel that's much superior. And for me, it's a slip joint, which suits even better. So for me, yes, it replaces this. And I don't have to buy another one of these. I bought about 3 of these. Does this replace the Peanut? Absolutely not, because I still love my Peanut and my little knives, my little fifth pocket knives. I just adore them, and I carry them about the house all the time. Is this one getting more time in the Peanut? Yes, it is at the minute, because it's new to me. And the fit and finish on this one, it's from Karoo, which is a man called William O'Kelly, and he lives in South Africa. He's a South African maker. This is just so smooth in action. There's nothing flimsy about it. This isn't floppy. When you take this out, you don't have any feeling of it being taken back. It's not scraping, it's not rubbing. It is stunning. Just slips in and that's it. So there's my 2 for Tuesday. 2 new knives and 2 reasons why I bought them. Let's see 2 knives from you. And again, Knife Delights is you can do it on any knives whatsoever, and for any reason. It's just a way to see other people's knives in their collection, maybe in a different way from just a boring, I call them boring old reviews, because sometimes they just become repetitive, and I hate it. The fact this lets you see that I'm excited about these 2 knives so much. They just are fantastic. They are definitely keepers for now. Because you can never, I'm really learning you can never say never. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. And if it helps you make a decision, you can't beat these in my eyes. That's fair. Even at £200, I know that's dear. I just know it's dear. But I've got MagnaCut. Do I need MagnaCut? Absolutely not. I'm a collector. So as a collector of knives, I like to try the blade steels, but I don't need them. And it wouldn't wreck my life if I never had a MagnaCut steel. But I like this as a package. This is a great package. There we go. Paddy's waffled on long enough. Happy Tuesday 2 for blades. Or the other way, and the correct way is Happy 2 Blade Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye now. Bye.